Guys, deluded, I'm back again. Now, before I get in and speak about what I want to speak about, if you're ever deleting stuff on your computer, please, it's stupid, it sounds stupid, but please make sure you actually look at what you're doing in it. Because I deleted a vid, which is this video I'm redoing, which could have been done already. But yeah, I drew myself out. But let's get on to this. Now, we know let's be honest, it's my pipe dream to have what I'd call an Arsenal La Masia, 11 players, all coming from the academy, give or take. Some could be brought in from other clubs and them things there. But it's a pipe dream realistically because you can't really you can't really do them sort of things there when you're trying to be competitive at fan pressure and all the other things you guys can come up with as examples. But for me, it's our best crop of academy prospects in a while. Not just that, the pipeline is coming. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, and in fact not even lie. I'll openly say I'm not there with the under 16s and 15s and all of them things watching them for games. I would love to, but quite rightly so. If you're not in the know or you're not someone's parent or relative, you shouldn't really be there because it feeds into the hype of 13, 14-year-olds and that. But it seems like every season there's at least one prospect coming from our academy as a full-time scholar that has genuine potential. Again, potential is just a buzzword and it's what you do. Everyone's got potential, but not everyone can be DG deluded. But back to this, you get what I'm saying? Obviously, I'd say we have to keep it real. Like I'd say around 2013, 14, we had prospects at the academy, but we were kind of crap as an academy, really and truly. Our performances weren't there. Defensively, we were all over the place. And 2015, was it Yonka, when he took over, he brought in them recruits. He brought in them foreign recruits of 2015, which included Benacia, Dragomir, I believe, Jeff, Rene Adelaide, Fortune, and I believe Daniel Marlon. They've all departed the club. They've all got fantastic potential. But since they've gone, and the likes of Kalen Hines and Chris Willock and a couple of others, they've all hurt my heart and stabbed me in my heart a little bit by leaving this club. It's afforded chances to the likes of Joe to come through, Emerald Smith, the spotlight to shine on these guys because they were all here. Emerald Smith is not new. Like, he's not new. Like, he's really not new. If you were watching, you know this guy's on crud. Like, he's been moved central and he's becoming that maverick sort of player, that 10 centre mid sort of guy. Now he can still play out wide. But with that being said, there's some genuine guys, specifically in our under 18s, give or take under 23s, that have genuine potential. There's 4, 5 or 6. It's tough to get them all through, but there's some that I believe can do this if the conditions are right. If we tailor individually their development, not just be lax to one size fits all approach that I believe obviously it's not true, but I can't. In my opinion, I do think that could be said for a lot of how our loan spells and them things there for players have been assembled. But for me, there's about 5 or 6 give or take. They're young. It's not an overnight process. It's gonna take time. Some might have to go on loan and come back and all of them sort of things, but definitely within the age group of some of them are 17. We got to kind of see what they're on by 17. Latest 21, ideally 19. If they're 17 now, ideally 19, because I do believe what Wenger says to a degree. If you're not ready technically kind of thing to cut it first team level and hold your own technically, you will never be ready in it, and you got to do things faster. But I honestly believe the likes of 17-year-old Amici, obviously Emerald Smith, you've seen him now. Reece Nelson's not a new player. Eddie Nketiah's give or takes on the crust of the first team. Who else is there? There's young Saka in the academy. I really believe Trey Coyle could have a place in the first team and them things there if things are set up. He didn't have the best of seasons last year through injury and them things, and it did upset me that he did go to the under-17s European Championship and barely played, if that. But he's someone with genuine potential. If you remember, before he even became a full-time scholar as a school kid, he was ripping it for the under-18s. I believe in him and his trials and tribulations of becoming a full-time footballer like that. You're going to have injuries and setbacks and disappointments, but it's how you move forward. Amici, you saw what he's on. You see what he's on. He's one of them players gets you out of his seat. Probably could improve it, get in the end product department, but he is scoring and assisting, and it will come. I believe them two there. They're 17. I believe both of them turned 18 around January or in January, give or take. Forgive me if I'm wrong. Kind of got to tailor them. I'm not expecting them to be the finished article at 18, and neither can you. There's another conversation to have about time and things like that, but I do believe there's a couple of them. Saka, which really gets me, like, he really excites me. I don't know if he's going to be a winger or fullback or whatever, but if the conditions are right, you're seeing what young Bakayo Saka is doing. Like, you're seeing him as a schoolboy in the under 18s for the England's under 17s. He's very adaptable. He's quite strong despite his small frame. I've got a lot of time for him. Then you've probably got the likes of Ose Tutu, and he's very good, very decent. maybe the next 18 months could be decisive. Obviously, he's got Liechtenstein and Belair ahead of him. But you see what I'm saying? Also, I believe Vontae Daly-Campbell, I don't understand why he's not spoken about in our academy, because I believe he might not be the most glamorous of footballers, but he's extremely hard-working. Hudson-Odoi and Chelsea are a tough match, but he battled well. Obviously, at the Under-17s European Championship, he played on the left-back and right-back. He's very good going forward. He's a strong lad. He's brave, man. Give or take. Again, I'm not here to say man are going to be world-class and all of these sort of things, but they can be competent players. I really like Eddie Nketiah as a footballer. I don't really care for if he's going to make it as a forward or on the flanks or whatever. I do believe people underrate his footballing ability, his link-up play, his ability to work the channel and just simply label him as a goal scorer. But by the same logic, if you're a striker, you will take that. So at some capacity, I don't know if he'll ever be good enough to be like a Lacazette or Aubameyang and lead the line sort of thing. You look like you look at Kane and Lukaku, and you can be as a manager sit in August and say, all right, cool, I don't need to go out and buy a striker because Eddie Nketiah is going to be up there for 20 and 30 and etc, etc. Or is he going to be someone that can supplement? He might be good for a 15 and that, someone that's good in the link-up, someone similar, completely different, but similar to Welbeck's sort of approach when he came through at United. Many of you will see that comparison and look at me like, what the hell are you talking about? Many of you will get that, to which I hope you're still staying with me. But you get the point. There's other youngsters that I haven't named in this club, that I haven't named. Jordan McNeff, I haven't said his name correctly. He's been unlucky with injuries at under-18s level, Republic of Ireland Youth International. But he could be all right if we give him things. And I still would like our commitment to finding the best players overseas, because I must admit, yes, we've got Michelin tat and stuff like that, but you've got to see now, you've got to act fast. Players are, you arguably were I know we as fans hype players up before we need to hype them and stuff, but arguably you could also say that players are developing very quickly. And in regards to negotiations, you have to get them done. Malcolm, I would have loved for Malcolm to come in January. Obviously, he's now at Barcelona and things like that, for example. But in short, people, man, there's at least 4, 5, 6 that could have a genuine chance of, I don't know, replicating the Busby Babes. Again, that's a very high statement of mine, and I'm not suggesting for a second they're going to do that. What I mean by that is a crop of players that you take from your academy, you give them time, you know that, all right, 10 games, we're trying to find some consistency with you here now, lads. There's some games you're going to be amazing, some games you're going to be poor, but what I want to see is somewhat establishing a level of consistency, because if they can get consistency in their game, a manager can trust a player. If a manager can trust a player, he's going to play a player, isn't it? That's all football is. That's why young players don't start, and it's sad, because we all get these sick youngsters, and then the manager has to obviously win stuff and justify winning on Saturday. If he puts that young player in and he doesn't do well, people are going to say, why did you do that? And things like that. This is the dynamics at play. Fans need to understand, if you want to develop youngsters and stuff like that, you have to necessarily tailor your ambitions back winning. Of course, there might be an example in the future of a young side bursting up out of nowhere and winning, but generally, you need to understand, do you want to be a farm, developing players and things like that, or do you want to be competitive and win trophies? You can kind of marry the two in the middle, give or take, but it's an extremely difficult task that the whole of the top 6 face. Look how many collectively in that top 6 first team players have come through, realistically. For all the Jeffrey and the Adlays, Benacias, and all these sick men that really and truly should be first team, and it really annoys me at this club. How many have come through at this club? If we really put them under the microscope, there's some right now on the burst of things, and I'm like I said, I'm rooting for Nketiah, Amici, Nelson, Emil Rose Smith to all become first team regulars. But we need to take time. You can't always, even with Emil Rose Smith's performance for Arsenal, his performances in pre-season and training, fans are getting hyped up, but just let man develop. I'm hyping them up as well. Same way, we love to see this sort of stuff. But if we can just, if we could just get these 4, 5, 6 players. Some of them, give or take, the ages of 17 to 21 are going to be crucial. Like I said, some may go on loan, but some could, briefly, but some could be something here at this club. And that could save us a lot of money. And if worse comes to worse, they can make us a lot of money, same way. Even De Silva, he's a very interesting prospect. I probably want him to show his bravado in the first team a bit more than he does, like he does at youth level. But to say he hasn't been given a look in so far under Unai Emery, or to my knowledge, he might have trained, but I don't know, innit? So yeah, it is what it is, and there's players that will come through at under 15s and 16. There's Aziz, there's Monsa, there's all these sort of players, and players that I don't know that I'm going to look forward to seeing when they become under 18s and things like that, and be here to speak about. But in short, people, man, I really would like to see these 4, 5, 6, however many names, kind of, all right, we put them in a box and we kind of commit to developing them sort of thing. But yeah, man, there's nothing more to say on that front. Guys, deluded. Please get in the comments, subscribe, and do the rest, man. I'm out. Thanks. Don't forget to like.